What is civil engineering? Civil engineering is one of the sectors of the civil engineering industry. It is a profession that focuses on the design, creation, erection, maintenance, and executing of physically and naturally built structures and environments. This type of engineering can be utilized in various settings, including the public sector, the governments and municipalities, and the private sector, including the private homes. So, civil engineering is responsible for the construction of mostly every public and private structures, including roads, airports, waterways, dams, bridges, aqueducts, canal, highways, power plants, sewage systems, buildings, and other infrastructures.
The history of civil engineering. The history of civil engineering serves as a representation of human history, or the evolution of human beings here on Earth, because it says that it has been an aspect of life since the beginning of human existence. The earliest practices of civil engineering may have begun in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia between 4000 and 2000 BC. The construction of the pyramid in Egypt in circa 2700 to 2500 BC was considered as the first instance of large construction in history. Around 2550 BC, Imhotep was the first documented engineer who built a famous step pyramid for King Djoser, located at Saqqara Necropolis. He was able to construct with the use of simple tools and mathematics, and until today, the monument still exists. His greatest contribution to engineering was the discovery of art of building with shaped stones, and those who followed him carried engineering to remarkable heights, using their own skills and imagination. So let's talk about the remarkable historical structures by civil engineers. First is the Qanat Water Management. It is the oldest, older than 3,000 years and longer than 7 kilometers. It is originated in Persia in the early 1st millennium BC. It serves as the generic term for ancient environmentally sustainable water harvesting. Next is the Parthenon by Ictinus in ancient Greece, 447 to 438 BC. It is the Appian Way by Roman engineers of circa 312 BC. Another remarkable historical structure is the Great Wall of China by General Meng Tian under orders from Qin Emperor Shi Huangdi of circa 220 BC. Next is the stupas constructed in ancient Sri Lanka like Jetavanaramaya. And last but not the least, the extensive irrigation works in Anuradhapura. The book Vitruvius de Architectura, published at 1 AD at around 15 BC by the Roman architect Vitruvius in Rome, gives us a look at engineering education in ancient times.
In the 18th century, the term civil engineering was first used to distinguish the newly recognized profession from the military engineering. Until then, the term civil engineering became permanent. From earliest times, engineers have engaged in physical activities. If in 18th century civil engineers are in military, in earliest times, they are engaged in more peaceful activities. And many of the civil engineering works in ancient and medieval times includes the Roman public baths, roads, bridges, and aqueducts, the Flemish canals, the Dutch sea defenses, the French Gothic cathedrals, and many other monuments that all reveal the history of the inventive geniuses and persistent experimentation in those times.
Engineering School, the National School of Bridges and Highways, France, was opened in 1747. First engineering school. John Smeaton, first self-proclaimed civil engineer who constructed the Eddystone Lighthouse, known as the father of civil engineering. Smithsonian Society of Civil Engineers, founded in 1771 by Smeaton and some of his colleagues. Institution of Civil Engineers 1818, world's first engineering society found in London. In 1820, Thomas Telford, the eminent engineer, became its first president. In 1828, the institution received a royal charter, formally recognizing civil engineering as a profession. Its charter defines civil engineering as civil engineering is the application of physical and scientific principles, and its history is intricately linked to advances in understanding of physics and mathematics throughout history. Because civil engineering is a wide-ranging profession, including several separate specialized subdisciplines, its history is linked to knowledge of structures, material, science, geography, geology, soil, hydrology, environment, mechanics, and other fields. Norwich University, founded in 1819, founded by Captain Alden Partridge, the first private college to teach civil engineering in the United States, the first awardee, a woman, of the first degree in civil engineering in the United States by Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, granted by Cornell University in 1905. The American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE, was founded in 1852, the oldest national engineering society in the United States. The evolution of civil engineering in the Philippines. During Spanish colonization, there were no recorded Filipino engineers. Also, there was no civil engineering school. Spaniards were the only engineers with academic degrees at that time. 18th and 19th century, Filipino engineers were recognized and was tasked to maintain, repair, and remodel infrastructure system in all pueblos or towns, including churches, convent, and government buildings. American regime. Filipino believe that this brought drastic changes in our engineering culture. This is because the colonizers pursued benevolent policies that the country must focus only on English education. Philippine Institute of Civil Engineers, December 11, 1973. Philippine Society of Civil Engineers and Philippine Association of Civil Engineers. These two organizations were merged. PSCE, considered as the first civil engineering organization in the Philippine country, founded during the late 20s and was founded by a group of civil engineers that is mostly from the government sector. It was headed by Engineer Marshall Casilac, who holds the first slot in the PRC Registry of Civil Engineers. PACE, in 1937, founded by another group of civil engineers. Enrique Santo Tomas Cortez headed the group of engineers and was the first president of the organization proclaimed. Main objective: PICE merged PSCE to PACE as the Philippine Association of Civil Engineers, proved that their organization is more active. PACE President Cesar A. Caliwara made an effort to merge the two organizations to make a united organization that will empower and benefit the entire civil engineers.
Functions of civil engineering are classified into three categories. First, before construction. Second, during construction. And third is the after construction. Under before construction, there is the feasibility studies. Both economic and engineering problems must be considered. Cover alternative methods like bridge versus tunnel. Site investigation. Rigorous study of ground and substructure. About soil mechanics. under the design application of design theory like hydraulics, thermodynamics, or nuclear physics, structure analysis, and stress analysis of structures.
During construction, the civil engineer designs works, supplies specifications, drawings, secures safety of the temporary structure, and legal documents. They also compare bids and suggest that clients should select from one of them. Civil engineer also oversees the project's fiscal, time management, and communication components. In addition, the subject also certifies the completion of the work and approves any alterations and precise drawings undertaken by contractors. The entitled engineer maintains the work of the contractors into his or her satisfaction. They are also the ones who will approve the payment of the final installment of the contract price.
After construction, there is the research, undertaken by government agencies, industrial foundations, universities, and other institutions. Human factors in construction, advanced method and materials, virtual design and construction, and also the management science.